Hello guys, and welcome to another map first impressions video. Today we're going to take a look at a very interestingly named map. The map seems to be named Who Dat Who Der Ranch. It's a rather interesting name, I have to say, and you may find some similarities on this map with Mustang Valley Ranch and American Outback, and that is because the same map author has done all three of those maps. In fact, they've also done Rattlesnake Valley and the Golden Days of Farming also. This map can be found up under the in-game mod hub, and it is available for all platforms, PC, Mac, Xbox, and PS4. So let's go ahead and jump on in. And let's take a look at the log. So we can ignore this warning that relates to a different map that I have in my mods folder. The map loads up very quickly, and we have a little bit of starting equipment, but not too excessive. Alright, so let's go ahead and take a look at the map itself. Alright, so as you can see, we have 26 fields on this map, 26 numbered fields. There are several grass areas here that are not numbered that we'll be able to take advantage of. And it looks like we own field 12. 12 is the only field that we own. And interesting enough, it is not by the farm. So here's our main farm. Field 12 is way over here. Let's go ahead and take a look. We've got our standard crops on this map. We do this video on hard mode. So on hard mode, you start with nothing in the silos. Pretty typical there. There are several sell points on the map. We have 5 different sell points for the majority of our crops. We also have sell points at the rail loader for liquid manure and solid manure as far as sell points. There's an incinerator on the main farm that also takes manure, wood chips, hay, straw, and grass. Then the sawmill also takes wood chips. And the BGA appears to take, interesting enough, manure, slurry, wood chips, and silage. It's rather interesting. We have 2 train-only sell points on this map. So here's the list of starting equipment. It's fairly small. Nothing is leased. Let's go ahead and take out a loan so we can buy some animals. And while we're doing that, let me talk about the train system. So when I looked at the map the first time, I thought that there were probably 3 or 4 different trains on the map, but there's not. There's one. So we have all 3 animal types on this map. We don't start with any particular animals, and nothing in the various troughs. And our silo has a capacity of 100,000 liters. In addition, there are gold nuggets on this map. Find some gold nuggets as we explore the map, but we are not going to pick them up because we just don't want to clutter our map with the 90 gold nugget dots. So while we look at this map, the yellow here is a train line. And when I first looked at this, I'm like, okay, well, there's a train line. Here's a train line. Here's a train line. Here's a train line. So there's like 4 trains. But actually, no, there's just one. This train winds its way around, doubles back, loops around the entire map, and there's only one train. So for example, the train is, let's say the train starts here. Okay, train will go up this way and around and down the map and this way. Then it'll go up and then it'll come around and then it'll come back down, up, over this way, and then loop around and over and up, and there it's over. So we're going to do a train ride very, very shortly, just to kind of show that off. But here we are. This is our main start point at our rather large farmhouse, I have to say. So we've got seed fill points, fertilizer fill points right here on the main farm. Got a very large and spacious farm. It'd be fairly good for big equipment, that's for sure. So this is where we can get our farm water. Got several buildings here. Most of them are completely empty. Prime and ready for some huge equipment, should you so wish. A custom point, repair point here on the map. Here on the farm. A large open shed. And then all of our starting equipment is over here under these domed sheds. Got a name, but I can't recall the name at the moment. As we were looking at that, remembering we haven't looked at our starting equipment like we typically. So let's take a look at that. So this is a Case IH farm. We've got a 1455, 145 horsepower. We have the 1660 harvester with just the grain header. A small farm tech tipper, and then pretty standard, the small coon cultivator, the plow, Great Plains seeder, and a fertilized sprayer. It is pretty much all that we have on the map as far as starting equipment goes. Take a look, and here's the shop. Let's hit reset and see what happens. Reset point is on the farm, and where is it? There's the reset point. Answer that question. Here is the on-farm incinerator. It's kind of a scary hole back there. Doesn't go on forever. I've seen this on other maps, and there are big old grinder shafts in there. It looks like the mod author has taken those out. It's just a cell point that burns stuff. Some more of our starting equipment. There you have it, basically. So here is our huge silo complex. It's a little, seems a little ridiculous that that all of these silos will only hold 100,000 liters compared to the base game, which is just these right here. So you have your fill here and your tip in right there as far as your silos go. Let's go on over here and check out the full point on the main farm. Here's our fuel point, should we wish to fill up on the main farm. Alright, so I said we were going to go ahead and take a train. Let's go ahead and do that fairly early in the tour, because I'm going to let this thing run. Okay, so we start there. The train starts between field 10 and 11. Go ahead and got quite the train too. Got a fairly long train car here. This is a standard map. This is not a 4X map. So here's the animal buy point. See the animal pens all have loading ramps that go off to the train. Interesting. I did see a modded train car that was an animal car, but I don't know if you could necessarily use it to actually transport animals. Just going to maybe just leave this view. We'll do, I think it's less distracting if we see where we're going. So we'll do this view here and just take a tour around the map. Up here we've got storage shed there, a large storage shed up by field 9. Just do that. As you can see now, we're looping around the northeast corner of the map. I have to say the landscaping And the rock work looks really great on this map. It really blends in well with the dried grass coloring. And when we get down back on the ground, we'll see that the dirt layer actually is kind of a rocky layer. It's not just regular dirt. I do wish that the grass fields were not so green. They are very lush and green, and almost to the point that they detract from the immersion level. That they're just so green in contrast with the regular map grass. As you can see right there, the background map grass is brownish, brown color, and then you've got this grass here, which is a nice, deep, lush green with little wildflowers and everything growing in it. I guess you could imagine that those grass fields are very well irrigated. Let's take a look. So now we're going down. Here's long field 4, big fields 3 and 2 on that side of the map. Interesting canal that runs right down the middle of the map. And there's our farm. It's our main farm with our huge, really that silo complex. You would think that would be like 750,000 liters would be in there as opposed to just 100. I did say that this map was console compatible. This map is not seasons prepared. It may not be seasons prepared because of it console compatibility. I don't know, but that doesn't mean that you can't use seasons with the map. It just means that you don't have a snow mask. Your bales will not rot if they are out in the weather. What else will happen? Bales won't rot out in the weather. They won't rot in the tipper. You'll only get one layer of snow, so you won't have to really plow the snow too terrible much. So now we're coming up to a rather interesting building here with its texturing. I like that. As you can see the track, how it is here, the track will double back on itself. We will see everything that we're not looking at the moment once the train does double back around on itself. You'll see that the railroad crossings do have flashing lights down there. It seems like some of the railroad crossings have a gate that drops and other railroad crossings don't. Here we have right below us, we've got a pretty big field of what looks like sugar beets. I'll have to check out that field as far as size, price, and mission money goes. So we get around. So I really like the water, and Rattlesnake Valley was known for its not so desirable, in my opinion, water plane. Water just didn't look like it was there. It didn't have a, almost like it was too clear. So I'm glad to see that this map has a water plane that is distinctly visible. I think there was a lot of people that didn't play that map just because they didn't like how the water was. It just felt like there wasn't any water there. You couldn't really see it. While this map is fairly flat, with little rolling hills on the fields, I do like how these railroad tracks have been cut down into the ground here. So we're already looping back around, back over here to the right is the farm again. Should go this way. Make sure we can this side of the map, right? As you can see, there's some more of the grass fields. Rather interesting building in the background with its kind of checkerboard textures. There's not a lot of trees on this map as far as forestry goes. That is something to be aware of. So here we are up at our animal areas. We first have our sheep, we have our pigs, and then we have our cows. Very similar to American Outback in its layout. All three animals there beside each other. So if anything, some of these I think train turns are a little bit a little much, if anything, but I do give the map author pretty good praise for the idea of having such an extensive train system that wraps and loops and doubles back around the map. Like I said, when I first saw the PDA and I realized that the yellow was a train, I thought to myself, well, you know, it looks like there's probably 3 or 4 little train lines on the map, but looks like that is not necessarily the case, that there is just one big train line that loops and doubles back around. Go ahead and look around here, kind of look back on the map. Looking at the mountains in the background, none of the mountains are snow covered, so this continues the kind of the southwest feel with respect to the mountains. They're there, but they're not tall enough to be snow covered year round. There is ample equipment storage scattered around the map, that is for sure. To some degree, I kind of wish the fields were not so cookie cutter square. I get it that that's the easiest way to put a field together with respect to hired help. I get that the way Giants has you define fields, you have to define them with 3 points, which really leads its definition to a square shape versus a more free-flowing shape. But I would like to see a little bit of variation in the field sizes, or in the field shapes, I should say. We're doubling back now on the southeast corner of the map. Got a really good view of that interesting texturing. And right there, I believe, maybe not, let me look. Nope, we're not close yet. So up, a little further up is where we double back. There's the big BGA. We actually have 10 silage bunkers there. Fairly large grass area around the BGA. When I first saw the BGA, I thought to myself, oh, is this one of those double ones with 2 digesters? But it was not. Just one digester there. And then the sawmill is rather interesting. Right here is the sawmill. And there looks like the only way to sell logs is with the train. It does not appear to be a point where you can drop logs on with your truck. Looks like you're going to have to drop them with the train. That's rather interesting. Got this rickety wooden bridge leads over here. And the spot here to the left of the crane that's in the water, that is the mill pond trigger. field here to our left, that is the only field that we own. Right there, and it is in a plowed state, so there's no harvestable crops right away. And we're coming up here to our starting point where we were on the train initially. We have successfully navigated the entire train system. Let's go ahead and get on out here. Look. To us. All right. Oops. All right. Now we're going to do our traditional drive around. Now we kind of got a train tour, train visual overview of the whole place. I'm going to go ahead and drive on around. First thing we'll do is we'll come up here and only one real thing down south. Let's see here. Around. This way. And Ferguson grain elevator you'll see over there is by field 1. That is a train only sell point, so there's no real use to go there. So we're going to go over here to this intersection and turn left and go on up to the animal area. Let's over here and check out this spot. Some sheds over here for vehicle storage. And something I wanted to show, yeah, this is a good spot to show. So this map has embedded in it ramps. So check this out. So anytime you see this 38 sign, I really don't know what 38 stands for. Left click the mouse and look at this. We have an animated ramp comes up. And we have got one on this side. Over here. It's 38. Don't know what that means. Some guards that come up so that we don't drive off the back of the ramp. And now, in theory, we could use a wheel loader and load a train car with grain or whatever. Then you want to lower it, you just come up here and you left click again and it just lowers down. That's pretty cool. While we're over here, let's just go ahead and check this out. It's just a some vehicle storage, or you could probably tip anywhere and store root crops or whatever in there. Saw that on our drive around. Wanted to kind of show that off. Got a little, there's a nugget. Got a little bit of the forestry area here. Like I said, there's not a lot of cuttable trees on this map that you're going to be able to get to. I think few and far between sections. Make our way down here, back onto the road. That area there to the right, that is the train sell point. Back on. And what we'll do is we'll check out field 1 and field 2 here. Field 2 looks like it's one of the larger fields. I think field 21 may be bigger. So we'll just go ahead and check it out here. So look at this ground texture. You can see that it's kind of like a, it's almost like a river rock texture, round, small rocks. This field is 4 hectares in size, basically $322,000. Harvest mission will take 42 minutes. Very big headlands on the sides, on the ends of the fields here. And this map is very hired help friendly, that is for sure. Alright, so field 2. Check it out. Field 2 is 11 hectares, 10.5 basically, $855,000. Okay. Alright, now, here's our animal areas. Let's just go ahead and check out all of them. Our gator here. Our door. Gate. Whoa. Swings out. Let's open this gate. Call me for a surprise because I know this gate swings in. Gates swing in opposite directions. Here we have our standard silage feeding trough. Before we go too far, I wanted to show you this over here. It felt like pretty odd over here. This was where you animal delivery trigger. Where are you going to buy your cows? They don't, they do spawn in. So that's why you've got your double gates here to keep them in. I did a test. I bought just a couple cows and they just spawned over here in the building. Now what's rather interesting is across the railroad tracks here is your liquid and solid manure for your cows. Got a vehicle shelter and your silage bunker. Now we're moving over to the pig area. So on this side of the railroad tracks we have our manure pit for the pigs and a couple vehicle shelters and a fuel pump, another nugget. And we've got a little bit of spot here where we could do some placeable work, should so wish. Let's go ahead and we'll just jump over this gate. This is where we'd put our straw in. This is our delivery or buy trigger for our pigs. And here is our liquid manure, our slurry fill point. Swing back over here to, here's your water trough and your grass trough for your cows. Now back to the pigs. We have our water trough, or no, it's food trough and water trough for our pigs. Then once again, let's jump the gate here. And there is it. This is our buy delivery point for our sheep. They are. And across the field here, across the railroad tracks, we have our wool spawn point right there. And then we've got a large vehicle shed over here. So that's the animal areas, all in one general section of the map. Fair bit of vehicle storage and potential placeable space over here. Things related to your animals. It's going to run back over to our gator. And head on out. Let's see where the next place we're going. Guess we'll swing down here at the next road crossing and check out the animal point and White's grain and David Brown's rail loader. while we're over here. So there's one of those large grass areas. I really wish the grass was either a little less lush, or that the map grass was a little more lush, so that there wasn't such a big contrast between the two. Alright, swing on in here. Another nugget. Not very hard to find. Got some vehicle shelters here. Kind of a weird deal here with the scale, this road texture. So here we can sell our slurry and our manure, should we so wish to. And then this is a rather interesting area to load our train. This is the David Brown's rail loader, and they take potatoes and sugar beets. So this is a sell point that has been set up to look as if it loads, and I really like the textures on this. The coloring, everything. I don't know if this was maybe a conveyor belt from a previous version of Farm Sim, or what. It looks very similar to the in-game conveyor belts, but just a bit like an older model. Very nice. I like this. I like this a lot. Bring it up here. You dump your sugar beets or potatoes. It basically sells, but I don't know if it's necessarily animated. But the way it's set up, it looks as if it is set up to dump into the train car, which is pretty cool. A lot. And make her way over here. As you can see, we do have traffic on the map. Traffic only appears to drive on just a few of the roads. Let's see what it said. Drives vehicles only. Oh. Gate doesn't have a collision on it. Drive on in. What that? This is the train transfer station. So of course, you would park your train under one of these two output pipes up there, and then you'd hit your R and you would fill from whatever content is. Here's where you would obviously dump grain into the transfer station for storage, or to then transfer it to the train. And if you wanted for some reason to fill the to empty into a tipper, you would do that here. There should be dump grates, either train track. Yes, there are. You can come here and you can empty your train car into here, into the transfer station, and then either store it or then transfer it to a tipper, then sell at a traditional sell point. We all know what these do because they were in Goldcrest Valley. Another large vehicle shed up here. I'm gonna drive through here just to make sure that we can drive over that and we don't fall through. So I'd like to have seen this gate open. Let's just drive through it. So here's the sawmill. Let's go ahead and go again. It's going to warp through the gate there. seen this building in some other maps. I've seen this in some European-based maps. Buildings will open up here. Storage here. We've got some. Rather interesting that these lights are on. Storage. Is this where we... Okay. Oh, we've got to bring it in here. Look at this. This is where we have to put our logs. Does not extend. It's low. Look, you're going to have to actually dump your logs on this trigger to sell them. Some more storage. And this is where we will wood chips. Again, we've got that 38. Raise our ramp here. Back up our tipper. Let's tip it in there for our wood chips. All right. Let's see if we don't, hopefully we won't fall through. That's kind of hard. All right. Back to our station. Okay, let's back over. And let's go. Railroad tracks. I want to get over here and show you this log sell point. So I misspoke when I said that was the only place to sell logs. It is a terrestrial place to sell them, or a ground place. So let's have a mill pond. This is the mill pond. Want to take advantage of that, you'll have to put your logs into the water there. Crane, let's see if it's working. Should be working, right? Yep. Working crane, that's for sure. All right. Let's see here. Let's just go ahead and follow these train tracks out of here. Try not to fall through. Alright, and then right here in front of us, that is the other train sell point. Here's field 12. This is the only field that we own. It's not a very big field compared to the rest of the fields on the map. Here's some more of those domed buildings. There's our chickens. Let's pull on. Nugget. Here's our chickens. Let's see, do we have any eggs out here? Not seeing any eggs yet. Okay. We have our spinnery, or wool buy point. Conveniently right next to the chickens is the egg buy point. Then we have the bakery, our dump point for bakery. Here we have our vehicle shop. Not a very big spot to spawn vehicles. Well, I guess, I mean, you could spawn several vehicles and implements there, but you're not going to be buying a whole big fleet one go, that's for sure. And we just got some random shops down here for ambiance. Let's check around back and see if there's maybe a potential for placeables. There's not a lot of room back here. We have a second egg buy point. It's rather interesting that we'd have two egg buy points so close together. Alright. So we're going to go up here to the animal dealer. We got a little sidetrack there with the sawmill. Let's check out this cool building over here. This has got some wacky siding on it. This is a sell point. Not a huge fan of these sell points where you got to go up on this kind of this dock, because I think the ramp there is a bit much. But look at this. This is some whack out siding, that's for sure. Makes for a very interesting building off in the distance when you're looking at it. Then here's our animal dealer if we want to pick up and deliver our animals. Right here is the trigger to do that. Then we have several stock pins of static animals here to give the map a little bit more ambiance. All right, let's head on down here to the BGA. Let's go ahead back this direction, and we just have the BGA, and then John D's brains, and then I want to check out the field size of field 21, and that will conclude our map video of Who Dat Hooter Ranch. Oh, I'm not really sure what kind of English that is, what that would translate to in conventional English. I think it would maybe take a good look at the train lights. The glow is a little much, but still, it's really cool that we've got very vibrant lights, that's for sure. I can see our traffic does not have collisions. Oh, kinda don't. Let's back up over this. It does for us. We can't drive through it. Watch this truck. This truck is going to drive right through it. Look, he just warps right through it. At any rate, so I think that would roughly translate into real English. Who's that? Who's the ranch? Make much sense, but at any rate, here's our big old BGA. We're talking some massive BGA here with 10 silage bunkers. And just one digester. And again, guys, our pedestal 38. Left click that, and here comes up our ramp. And this is more for a wheel loader, I believe, to drive up here and dump into the Flegel digester. Here we have our digestate tank. Large shed to store all of our BGA equipment and implements. I've got our scale. All right. So guys, let me know in the map what you, or let me know in the comments what you think about the map. Like these, like this rustic southwest look. Here we've got some more of those domed storage buildings. Got a little area here, a little placeable spot for placeable buildings or whatever. Seed fertilizer fill points. Fuel point here. So let me know what you think of the map in the comments. If you like this video, please go ahead and click the like button. If not subscribed, please click the subscribe button. We try to do map videos every Tuesday and Thursday, but as I've said in a few recent videos, maps seem to not be as high quality recently that have been coming out. So I've been having a little bit of a struggle finding maps, finding two maps that are worth profiling. There may be soon a time where we will not have two maps a week, so we may skip a day, we may skip a week as we kind of wait for some really nice maps, really promising to come out. I've been following several threads on several forums of work in progress maps, and they all look really wonderful that I'm watching. Just waiting, kind of waiting patiently for them to come out. You know, map development does take a fair bit of time, so we don't want to rush these people. We want quality product. This is the last sell point. Again, it is John D. Grains. Buys all of our typical grains. And let's go ahead and run down and check out field 21. Go from here. Spin around. Right here. '21 is beyond that way. Just across the just across, is that a road? Yeah, just across the road section. Right. Entrance. Field 21 is 12.72 hectares, $1 million. So that is, I think, biggest field on the map. Field 2 was not that large. So there you have it, guys. This again was Who Dat Who Der Ranch by Something on My Shoe 2. Same mod author that did Mustang Valley Ranch, American Outback, Rattlesnake Valley, and the Golden Days of Farming. All 5 of those maps are in the in-game mod hub. If you like this map and you haven't checked out one of those other 2 or one of those other 4, you may be interested in checking those out. I have done a video on Golden Days of Farming, Mustang Valley Ranch, and American Outback. So I'd encourage you to go check all of them out too if you like what you see in this video. So until next time, guys, happy farming.